Weird Science
is the revolution.
Power Girl number 5, written by Leah Williams, art by David Baldione, Romulo Fajardo Jr., and Becca Carey. Yeah, this is bullshit. This is complete bullshit. Let me start out by telling everybody that the big play and the big story, obviously, in this, is that Kalex has been compromised with the symbiote ship. This should be something. I told you it wouldn't be. When they say at the end, I'm going to be in the shadows. And why are you in the shadows? Why are you in the shadows?
Why would you stop that story? It just picked up steam.
You actually are doing something with that makes sense and has stakes in the universe. Instead, now we're going to have a streaky deal as if you've done anything up to this point that we need a cool down. Oh my God, Eric, I need to cool down from all this.
Cool down,
Streaky.
mostly silent issue of Streaky the Super Cat.
You
Going
say
on
mostly
adventures.
silent. Ugh. He doesn't understand English, so you get goobly-gookin. But when you go into this, we've seen this before. We had it with Mark Russell and the Urban Legend. Anytime you're going to get one of these super pets, they're going to find out that some animals are either being experimented on or grabbed, and they're going to go save them. Sometimes that hits, sometimes it doesn't, but at least have a story. This is barely even a story. When then you pull in the fact that it's mostly silent, googly, it's nothing. This is a waste of money. It's bad. This should be highway robbery. I think some people need to be arrested, Eric, because this is nonsense. But you tell me about it. What do you?
Well, that's the whole thing. You have Streaky the Super Cat who goes around because we see some people in mass abducting animals off the street. And then Streaky goes out one night doing Streaky the Super Cat things where Streaky goes and talks to some other cats who are sad that another cat was taken. And in that cat's empty bed are a bunch of flyers for missing animals. Like, oh my God, this looks like a job for Streaky the Super Cat. Where then Streaky goes up and listens out for all the animals out there and here's a dog in distress and goes and finds these two masked men putting a dog in there to where Streaky then goes and follows in the van and finds out that I want to think maybe Georgia Savannah. I don't know who this character is supposed to be. Who's taking all. It looks kind of like Georgia Savannah, but I don't know. But Streaky goes there and heat visions everybody, releases all of the animals, and that's all a day's work for Streaky the Super Cat, who will just unleash all these animals into an unsuspecting freaking populace that are just running rampant, and like animal control is going to have to work double time. But Streaky goes home and then lays with Paige and saying, well, it looks like you've been sleeping all night, you freaking lazy kitty. And then, when she wakes up, Supergirl says, okay, I need a favor. I need you to go on an adventure with me, setting up the next bullshit story that we have for Power Girl that does not feature Kalex being possessed by a symbiote ship.
No, that's going to be like a role-playing game type bullshit from the solicit. So what you have here, and
the idea of role-playing game, because the one thing that, Paige Stetler, the secret identity of Power Girl now, actually works for the Daily Planet. She just wrote a story, Can Psychedelics Induce a Virtual Reality? So I'm guessing that's going to be something that's because she's reading her own article on her iPad. So I'm thinking that has to be what we're dealing with going forward.
Yeah, I love the idea because while you were talking about Georgia Savannah, I thought, well, I didn't really actually go to the wiki for this issue. Yeah. So I thought I'll go to the wiki. Maybe it does spell out, because a lot of times, I don't know how, it's black magic. They can pull shit out of their ass, but they usually have something. They didn't even bother with this. It's such bullshit that they just have other characters blank, locations blank. They didn't even finish. They started. You have Omen, Streaky the Cat, and Power Girl mentioned, and then they gave up just like everybody else. So what you have here, first off, in my mind, when you have these issues anymore, it's trying to get Pizza Dog from Hawkeye. It's trying to get that play, but you haven't set anything up. But Streaky, we know a couple things about Streaky. One of those is if you fuck with his food, stuff like that, he flips out. You could have pulled that in. But what I really thought would have gone, because this does nothing for the series. He is now going to go on the generic, let's save an animal that's missing deal. Maybe through Streaky's point of view, you could have shown how much Omen and Power Girl mean to each other. Or you could have shown Supergirl, because he is Supergirl's cat, but now he's with Power Girl. Maybe he gets upset and goes to try to find Supergirl. Yes, and tries to find Supergirl, and then kind of gets more of that, how much Supergirl actually does like Paige. That make it something that means something in the issue. Maybe you have it.
Honestly, don't have a Streaky the Super Cat mostly silent issue. That's what I'm just saying. Make it mean something.
At least if you needed time between or whatever, or have Streaky, we find out, is the only one that realizes that Kalex is fucked up and is trying to do some things about it. But because he can't end up really showing people
That's right, Streaky.
We have that in the back. It'd be kind of cool if we have that battle going on. But no, you have what is the basic bitch. Streaky's a cat, so Streaky's going to save a cat. All right, well, that's kind of bullshit. And it did nothing, and it's a waste of money. And then at the end, to just have Supergirl show up, just, hey, we're going to go up and save these people from this crazy, Middle-earth LARPing thing. Really? Like, what are you doing?
This story is a bunch of nothing. I don't think anybody should spend their money on it because it feels like a waste because you get nothing out of it. Like, I'm telling you, the only person I know that would want a Streaky the Super Cat story is Reggie. And he just loved that like little cat for some reason.
Reggie loves Streaky. I don't think he'd like this. I think he would have been upset. He would have said, I like Streaky, but he did nothing.
My favorite part of this book, though, is that you have these goons that are working for the scientists that's experimenting on these stray animals, and they have these tragedy and comedy masks on, and they look badass. It's almost like a ghost face mask with a beanie on top, and it looks really badass, and I want to see more of them. But like the art is wasted here because it's doing all of this work for nothing of a story, and I'm like, come on, this looks good. You could have done so much better.
And the art does look good, but nothing to do with it. And I don't know, you have some things that are kind of on the side. Remember that whole alien tech that got sold for some reason, stolen deal? Maybe you could even, like, I know you don't want a Streaky-ish, but we're here, we're doing it. Make it mean something to the overall series. And then you could even have idea.
Just imagine Tom King's getting worked up on like the Bureau of Sovereignty and the American government coming down. They finally like you get some momentum in a story that feels like it's worthwhile, and all of a sudden we have a Champa issue.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Or imagine...
Or a Cancer Kid issue.
A Cancer Kid. That's what I thought you were going with.
I wasn't going to, but then I realized, that's what you expected. But no, I'm going along the lines of this for the Champa issue.
They were on the Kangas in that, so it works there. I mean, that's the problem with this, where people, writing comics now, and people sit there and have all sorts of crazy, not even crazy, they're their own reasons, but I hate DC because it's this, or I hate it because of that. But this is the shit that I hate, that you end up always throwing off the momentum of a series. And I wonder, do they think they're, killing it here? Does Leah Williams think that she's been telling so much of a bang-ass story?
Bang-ass story.
A bang-ass story that she's like, I better calm down. I better do this. It's a banger. But you haven't been. You haven't been doing that. So it's just, and I'll tell you what's coming up. Every issue, all we're going to say is what's up with Kalex, because that's it's the symbiote.
That's all I care about.
Yeah. What else is there to say, Eric?
Well, right now, at least we have a little bit of continuity going on where that symbiote ship came out of Paige's eyeball, and now she just has a patch over it right now. Well, I guess it heals, so you got that going on for it.
Yeah, patches. I don't know what to say. I can't talk suddenly. What would you give this?
You all right over there? I would give this a 2 out of 10 because the thing is, I really like the art, but the story is like a -5 for how that works out in my mind because it is nothing. I feel like that DC is robbing you with this because there's barely any dialogue in it. There's no fucking point to this story. Streaky saves some abandoned animals, and you got to get charged for that.
You have 21 pages or so. You could have waited and just told this Streaky thing in 3 pages in an anthology. You could have done it. It's ridiculous there. So, yeah, I'm going to go, I am. I don't know what happened. I can't breathe, Eric. I'm dying here. I'm going to give it a 2.5.
Look at you. Mr. Positivity.
2.5. Did that work, Eric? Did I make it work?
Works for me.
Okay. Well, there we go. It's a shame. Highway robbery. I still can't breathe. I'm dead. I'm a ghost, Eric. I'm a ghost. I might be, taken over by the symbiote ship / lion.
That's a lot of masters from Ghost.
You son of a bitch. I'm going to ghost you now. You ghost me pretty much. We get done. I don't hear from you for a week.
I got things to do. Comics to read.
You ghosted me, Eric. You did that. What's the other term Tanya always gives me? The gaslighting.
Shut the fuck up.
You gaslighted me, Eric. I'm like, I don't know what that means. Does that mean I like my farts? Because, I certainly did gaslight you, baby.
You're definitely gaslighting her about the idea that you don't know what that means.
Well, I kind of do, but not when she says, because it doesn't make sense. Like, I'll say, hey, I got us dinner. Don't you gaslight me? I'm like, what? What do you mean by that? I don't understand.
Weird science is the revolution.